What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We're going to get started in just a minute, letting everybody file in. What's up, James? We're going to get going in just a second. So, everybody get ready. It's about to be a party. I'm telling you now. Big episode. We done made it. Number 100. We about to have some fun. We about to have some memories shared, and a lot of different things are about to go down. So get ready, y'all. We are about to have some real fun and enjoy talking about the Tennessee Titans, and we got a lot coming up. We're going to be talking fantasy. We're going to be talking Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about moments and memories. So make sure y'all get your questions out. Definitely give me some questions as we pick my brain throughout the show. And through your memories of watching Titans in Truth, what are some of your favorite things that I have done on this show that piqued your interest? So let me know what you think. I'm going to come back in just a quick second, and we are definitely going to get started in just a second. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm back and in full effect, and I hope everybody ready. Just make sure y'all spread this word out. There's that arrow right here. Make sure y'all point that out, share it out to everybody. Let everybody know this show is live. Episode 100 is here and is upon us, and we are going to have a really good time. We're going to have some fun, and so let's do this. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up. It's a brand new dance and we about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten two step, step, step to the right. Then you tighten two step, step, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. It's about to get rough. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up, let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Tighten two step, step, step to the right. Do the tighten two step, step, step to the left. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Okay, alright. Titans knock your heads all night. Alright. Okay. Titans gonna win anyway. First down, come around, we about to shut it down. Episode 100 of Titans in Truth that began so long ago on October 26th, 2016. It was a perilous journey that was beginning to find a way to bring the best Titan coverage to you, to find out on a personal note about the information of the Tennessee Titans. How did the Titans get to this point? How did Boo Enforcer get to this point? He was down on his luck, but he found a way to YouTube, to Planet YouTube, where he decided to join up his Jedi powers and found a way with his partner, Miss Truth Hurts Wembley, to start Titans in Truth, bringing you the best coverage of Titans everywhere. And the truth shall set you free. This road has began for now almost 3 years, and it ain't stopping now. Get ready.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to be silly with that. I had to have me some Star Wars music with episode 100 coming in. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to Titans and Truth. As you can see, I am live. I am not in my man cave in Nashville right now. I am live from Memphis, Tennessee. This is very soon. This is gonna be my home. I will be moving back here to Memphis very soon, but I will still be going to Titans games. So don't think I'm not going anywhere. Trust me, I am not. Titans and Truth ain't going nowhere. We gonna keep it going. We got some bigger things on the way. Definitely going to be happening. I'm going to be hooking up with some Titan fans here in Memphis, as well as when I come up to Nashville with some Titan fans up there still. So be on the lookout for that. So what's up, everybody? Episode 100 is finally here. Episode 100, and we have been through a lot together. We've been on a big journey, and we are here. Happy 100. We have made it. So shout out to everybody that supported me this long. Thank you, Shane, on that. James, thank you on that. Marcus, Mari Goda says, shout out to Titans 2 for directing me to this channel. I appreciate you coming on board to this channel, so I appreciate that. What's up, AZ Mick? Brandon, what's going on? I try to be funny. Make everybody laugh and make everybody happy. That's what I try to do. Not very easy, but it does work itself out. So we'll talk more about the last 100 episodes in just a bit, but let's get in to what we're here to talk about. First of all, we had a game on Saturday night. We played off with the New England Patriots, so it was fun to celebrate my birthday going to a Tennessee Titan game. It would have been even better if they had celebrated with a Titans win. But it's okay. It's the preseason. And these are some things that I thought about. And Marcus Marigoda, I will be in section 143. I will be in 143. So y'all definitely be on the lookout. I will be at the game on Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I will be there, and I will be definitely hoping to link up with some of you there. But let's get into this recap of this loss to the Patriots. I will say the first team offense and defense definitely looked very good. I believe, excuse me for that, the first team defense was really only on the field for one series, and that was where it ended with a Logan Ryan interception of Brian Hoyer, which I thought was very impressive. And I believe Marcus had 3 drives in this game and played pretty much almost the end of the first quarter, and definitely threw a touchdown to an old friend, Delaney Walker. Welcome back. I'm glad to have him back with us. And he had the touchdown. That was just a beautiful pass right there. Now, the 2-point conversion, I was kind of concerned about. Marcus got out of the pocket and basically took a risk diving and was upended into the end zone. And I just thought, Marcus, you shouldn't do that. Don't risk your body like that. We need you throughout the season. But what was impressive, if you take a look at that play, if you take a look and see Jeremy McNichols at the end kind of spotted him a little bit, and kind of spotted him so that he didn't land on his head or anything like that. So Jeremy McNichols might have helped save Marcus a little bit there on that particular play. And so I understand our quarterback is tough, but sometimes it's just best to be able to live to fight another play. So I didn't agree with that dive like that. I didn't like the risk, but hey, you get the 2 points. But also Jeremy McNichols, let me tell y'all, Jeremy McNichols is trying to make this team, and I think he's going to make this team. Because, he has stood out in both games. He had the big long run. He had a couple of nice runs against Philadelphia. And then in Saturday's game, he had a nice run that would have been a touchdown if it wasn't for a holding call, and then also had the swing pass from Ryan Tannehill that he flips over into the end zone, and they ruled it a touchdown as well. So Jeremy McNichols has been extremely impressive to me, and I think he's really making a strong push to make this team, and I think he's going to make this team, definitely. So I was very impressed with that. And see, James Sally said, did you see Taywan Taylor make sure he caught the ball with his hands and make sure everyone saw it? You know what? With Taywan Taylor, He played well into the third quarter with the third stringers. And that tells me either one of two things. He's either very far down the depth chart at wide receiver, or they just want him to get as much playing time as possible because they want him to do well. And I can understand that. They want Taywan Taylor to succeed. But we know that Taywan Taylor basically is on his last legs here. This is his last chance, and he better step up and produce, without a doubt. Marcus Marigold said, do you think Woodside will make it? I wasn't really impressed with Logan Woodside in this game. He didn't really do anything that just opened my eyes. And really, with the exception of about three guys, the second and third teamers really didn't impress me that much in this game. You know, we had a lead when they were coming in and they lost the lead and we ended up losing the game. Now, I mean, Isaiah Mack had a really nice sack. I like the return of the Mack. So, I mean, that was really good. Amani Hooker, you know, he made plays. He nearly had a pick six. He had jumped an out route. And if he just brings that football in, he's walking the other way to the end zone, and that's a pick six right there that could have made the difference. I saw Amani Bledsoe get the start at outside linebacker, so he basically showing some of his versatility, being able to play on the line as well as on the outside as well. But Anthony Ferkser, of course, I love Anthony Ferkser. He has some terrific hands. He usually catches just about everything that comes his way. I know he has a few drops here and there, but it's very, very rare he has that. So I like Ferkser a lot. I think Ferkser will be a fourth tight end, along with Delaney Jonnu and Michael Pruitt. I don't know if Woodside makes the team or not. I think he definitely – I don't know if he can – but I don't know if he'll last on the practice squad either because somebody's going to pick him up without a doubt. So we'll definitely have to see about that. Let's see. You know, James Sally said 4 running backs. Has been 4 running backs. I'm like, you know, that's a very good point. I mean, of course, Derrick Henry and Dion Lewis are going to be there. I don't think David Fluellen is 100% safe on this team. I think he will make it because he's very valuable on special teams. And he was doing a lot of good until he got hurt in the Patriots game last year. He was getting some run. But I think McNichols is making it very difficult to either choose between McNichols or Fluellen or to have 4 running backs. Because McNichols, he can also do some things on special teams. So I think that is a pretty big deal and can be very helpful. But, I mean, McNichols may be taking a roster spot from, say, a wide receiver, or could be taking a spot from a Michael Pruitt or Anthony Ferkser, or from maybe an extra corner or something like that. We're definitely going to find out. So I don't know if they'll keep 4 running backs. But it is possible, and I think possibly what will happen is McNichols, because you remember you have your 53, but then you can only dress 46 on game day. So, McNichols might be one of those guys that will be inactive on game day. Same thing with Amani Bledsoe as well. If he makes the team, he's been doing pretty good, as well as Isaiah Mack. Those might be guys that make the team but are largely inactive most Sundays. So that's something that I could see. Shane saying Flu has been too consistently injured. He likes him. Brandon says, I'm worried about AJ. Haven't seen much from him. Like we haven't seen this before. With AJ Brown, and that's something that I'm going to definitely go into in just a bit, because we did get a lot of good news today with Titans practice. With that. So that's something I'm definitely going to get into with AJ Brown. He did get some action in on Sunday. They didn't really go to him much. I think Marcus tried to get a pass to him. They called it the pass interference call, but AJ Brown has not caught his first pass yet as a Titan. I'm hoping that comes much sooner rather than later. Let's see. Joseph said the Steelers game we have at home is probably the only national game at home this season. We'll be lucky to have more than that. We have a game flex. We can have a game flex or make it to the playoffs. I'm going to talk about that too. I'm glad you brought that up, Joseph. That's something I'm really going to talk about with this Steeler game. Let's see. James Adams said Mac attack will make the team. I like the return of the Mac. I really do. I like return of the Mac. David Long Jr., I think he's got to do something on special teams. I think he's got to do something on special teams. He showed a little bit against the Eagles. I didn't really watch much with him this past game. He seemed to be able to roll side to side very well and things like that. But I think he still has quite a bit to learn. I think he'll be a very good depth player. And, he might make Darren Bates a little bit expendable, or he could do some things that Brendan Trowey did as well. Let's see. Walker, Jonnu, Ferks are best tight end combo in the AFC. We're going to definitely see about that. I like the combination. I do. Let's see. Terrence Young, I thought Flew was moving to fullback. I have been seeing some things about Fluellen maybe possibly being a fullback. They also got that kid Hewitt from the Colts, who's been more of an H-back, playing a lot in the fullback spot as well. So that's something that that's going to be looked at and discussed. We'll definitely see more of that in the coming weeks. But now we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. And, like I said, I was impressed with some people, and there were some people I wasn't impressed with. This Steeler game is a pretty big deal. And, this is dress rehearsal week. This is probably the most important week of the preseason, because in dress rehearsal week, this is where the starters probably play their most action of the year. This is where you get the starters in for, you could see the starters playing up to the end of the first half. You could even see the starters possibly playing the first part of the third quarter, even a lot of times in this game. But what I'm thinking is going to happen is that I think the starters should at least play the entire first half. And one of the most important points that I must emphasize, get through this game injury-free. And I'm talking about starters. Get through this game injury-free. That is going to be important, because if they can get through this game injury-free, pretty much 80% of the starters are not playing in that last game against the Bears. Marcus is not going to play against the Bears. Delaney, Corey Davis, Derrick Henry, Jarrell Casey, Rashawn Evans, Harold Landry, a lot of those guys fired. They're not playing in that last game against Chicago. It's not going to happen. This is going to be the dress rehearsal, the most important. So that is where I want to see the most action. So I want to see that. Get fine-tuned and get ready for week one, because we are not very far away. We're less than about, 2.5 weeks away from week one. We're very, very close to that. And I'm actually looking at the calendar just to confirm that. Sunday night is the game. And then, when Sunday night kicks off, we will be exactly 2 weeks away from week one. So we got to get fine-tuned for that particular game. Classic Ride, what's up? I know you working late tonight. Say you don't like seeing injury, but Fluellen saved Derrick Henry's season last year. I could agree with that. I could agree, because Fluellen was getting some touches. I agree, because I was off the Derrick Henry train, as a lot of you know, and he had to prove it to me. And that did make things better. Let's see. Shane said, I think Henry was going to show out regardless, and that would have been a very bad cause. The tractor is much better. I definitely hear you on that one. Yes, but could have been showing out for some other team. Yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry could have been on his way out. I don't think he would have been on his way out, but yeah, it is possible. So we will definitely keep going with that as well. So good news came out of today. Thank you, Minnesota Titan. I appreciate that for that. Congrats on the 100th episode. I appreciate that, everybody. But some very good news came out today as the team practiced getting ready for this game. It's been 20 days of camp. And for the first time this offseason, Marcus has had Corey Davis, Delanie Walker, A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries, and Derrick Henry all on the practice field together at the same time. That deserves a clap right there. That deserves a clap right there. Finally getting all 5 of those guys together on the practice field, which tells me I think all 5 of those guys are going to play some role in this game coming up. It's definitely good to see Corey Davis out there. Delanie Walker was out there. We might get our first look at Derrick Henry in the preseason. Also getting Adam Humphries back. Adam Humphries had a nice rapport with Marcus in the game against Philly, but did not play in this game against New England. So I just think that's a great sign seeing all of them together. Nate Davis returned to practice for the first time this preseason. He did a little bit of individual work, and then he went back inside. So he didn't practice fully, but he was out on the practice field, which was a very, very good sign coming for that. So I definitely liked that he's at least getting some work in. Hopefully he keeps practicing more, and hopefully he gets to play on Sunday, because we got to find out this right guard issue. Kevin Pomfield started at right guard in the game against New England. Jamil Douglas played some right guard and some center as well. Corey Levin's been out there. So I really don't know what we're going to be looking at as far as the right guard position, because as you saw in my recap video on Facebook, it left a lot to be desired with this right guard position, and this is going to be a problem. But I think the starting 5 that you saw against New England, that is going to be the starting 5 week 1 in Cleveland. And then, of course, after week 4, Dennis Kelly comes out, Taylor Lewan comes in. So I think that's the starting 5, unless Nate Davis plays and balls out and just blocks his tail off the last few games. Then I think it's Kevin Pomfield's job to start, and maybe Nate Davis comes in towards the end of the season and takes that job later. Yes. James, thank you for that. Yes, Ryan Suckup is back out on the field as well. John New has returned. So everybody is off the PUP list. Of course, Jeffrey Simmons is still recovering. He's on that NFI list as well. But we all know we're not expecting him back at least until December, if that soon. So that's something that we're definitely going to be hopefully looking forward to. So it is wicked exciting. I definitely agree on that. Let's see. Classic Ross said Delaney's going to show out this year. He and Mariota just have that connection. I agree. And we're going to get into that with fantasy as well. We're definitely going to get into that. Let's see. The Mama's Boy says, who is our Jalen Smith? I mean, who do you see willing to take less money to keep this team strong? That is an excellent question, because that is something of the news that did come out with, and I was looking at First Take this morning. I was looking at some First Take this morning with Jaylen Brown getting that big 5-year $64 million extension. And, he's only going to be making somewhere around maybe 13 and a half. And that puts some pressure on what will happen with Dak, what will happen with Zeke, what will happen with Amari Cooper, because, Jalen Smith just got paid. And so now, they were discussing on there who should be more upset, Zeke or Dak, on that. But, Stephen A basically said if I had to choose, it would probably be Dak. But in reality, nobody should be upset. I mean, Jalen Smith, this dude broke his leg in the national championship game against Alabama, had nerve damage that had to regenerate. And, if he hadn't gotten hurt, he was going in the top 5 of that draft. He was going top 5. There was no way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was the I want to say that was the Jack Conklin draft. I think that was the draft. We had the number 1 pick, traded down, got back, and got Jack Conklin, if I'm not mistaken, because that was also the year we drafted Kevin Dodd. Well, we could have had Jalen Smith in round 2, but he had that nerve injury, sat out an entire season to let this leg regenerate, and has balled out ever since. As far as who will be our Jalen Smith and take less money, that is an excellent question. I would probably say right now, I would think it'd have to be Jack Conklin. I think Jack Conklin could be our Jalen Smith and take less money because he's been injury riddled the last couple of years. So I think he could be our Jalen Smith and take less money. Marcus Mariota could be another one because you haven't really heard him talk about his contract status or anything like that. I know the highest paid quarterbacks are making over $35 million, which is Aaron Rodgers. And we know Marcus is not going to make that. He's not even going to get north of 30. He's going to be very south of 30 million. I think if Marcus takes about a 20 million or maybe somewhere around 22 and a half, that's Marcus taking less money for the team. And I can see Marcus doing that. I don't think his agent will be happy about it. But I think Marcus is the type of guy that he's like, look, I'm here for the team. I'm a team player. It's not about me. So I can see that. But I think Jack Conklin is the first candidate, I would say. Shay says Delaney and Hump going to beast. It's going to open up Corey too. Marcus Mariota says, has Lawan been officially suspended yet? No, his appeal is coming up on August. Actually, his appeal is tomorrow. And that's going to be big. Taylor Lewan's appeal hearing is tomorrow. So we're going to find out if the 4-game suspension will be upheld or maybe it gets reduced to 2 games, maybe get down to 1 game. We'll definitely find out. I think it has, even though Golden Tate's appeal was held up, I think Taylor Lewan, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he suspended only 2 games instead of 4. I think it comes down to 2, in my honest opinion. Let's see, Joe said, I wonder if Big Ben will play. I doubt it. I don't think Big Ben plays in this game. He might play a series or 2. We'll have to definitely find out. Let's see, Joe says, I think we should rest Derrick Henry until week 1. I'd like to see Derrick Henry out there at least 1 series, at least. But definitely, I would like to see Derrick Henry get his feet wet a little bit, but then take him out. He doesn't play till week 1. That's my thing. Let's see. Minnesota Titans said, I'm worried about the O-line. A lot riding on the line this year with Marcus. I don't think our offense will be pretty early in the year due to our own O-line. Yeah, I agree. I think the O-line is going to work out some kinks early. And I think they have the potential to be very, very good late in the year. Excuse me for that. But I think they have the potential to be great late in the season. But early on, I know there's going to be some struggle because, in the Patriot game, Roger Saffold played his first snaps, and one of the first plays, he got blown up by a defensive lineman, got put on his back, and it led to a sack. But after that, he recovered very, very well, and that's something that I think that was just coming from it's his first game with the offense and things like that. I don't think that's going to happen again with Roger Saffold. Roger Saffold is one of the best guards in the game. And, he played very well in that preseason game. No depth at O-line besides Kelly and Levin. Well, we do have some depth on the O-line, actually. You got Levin, who you got some versatility as well. Levin can play guard or center. Kelly can play guard or tackle. You got Jamil Douglas, who could play guard or center. You got Pomfield, who could play all positions. You're going to have 8, 9 linemen deep. You got Aaron Stinney as well coming in there. So, you have a lot of offensive linemen. There's some guys trying to make the team as well. So, we could definitely go 8, 9 linemen deep. So, I think there can be some depth at offensive line, but there's some guys with a lot of versatility, which I think is very important to Coach Vrabel. Let's see, where was I going? So I don't think the backups are going to get a lot of time in this game, maybe in the second half, but somebody's got to step up. I think Jeremy McNichols, a lot of people have been wondering if he's going to make this team or not. I think he does make the team, and I think if he stands out one more time in this game, I think it more than solidifies him on the team, and it makes it very difficult to see if they go 4 running backs or do they go to 3 and just let David Llewellyn go. So we're definitely going to find out with that. I just think one more game with Jeremy McNichols being sharp, he's going to make this team without a doubt in my mind with that. But here's another reason why, and that's why I said this game is ultra important, because the starters can get fine-tuned for week 1. This is the longest amount of time the starters will play in this preseason. You're getting a lot of your weapons back. You can test drive them in this game. We saw where Marcus had a good rapport with Adam Humphries. He was going to him early. Delaney Walker, same thing. Corey Davis. Now we can see him maybe try to go to A.J. Brown and also go back to Adam Humphries as well. Yeah, Class said, don't remind me of Dodd. I know that's right. I definitely agree. Joseph says, Dodd, more like Kevin Dunn. I agree with that. And that's something we're definitely going to talk about. And let's see. Joe said, I'm with you. Derrick Henry should play for a little while this Sunday. Like I said, I just think a series, maybe 2, that's about all he needs. And I will be okay with that. So if he plays like a couple of series, that's fine. Get him in, get him out. That's all I would want. Just let him get his feet wet. But, getting the starters fine-tuned, get ready for week 1. But here's another reason why this game is ultraly important. This is Sunday Night Football on NBC, nationally televised. This is a big night for the Tennessee Titans for 2 reasons. A, you got the whole nation watching you. So we need to fill that stadium up, and we've got to show out in this game as fans. Show what we are tighten. We tighten up and we tighten tough, and we ain't lighting up. So we got to show out as fans. All of us need to be there. I know a lot of Steelers fans are going to be there too, but we got to show out at this game on Sunday. Show the world that Nissan Stadium is Titan country, then that nobody is going to push us around in our house. So we got to show out for the rest of the world to see. And number 2, the Titans themselves need to have a great showing. Why? We only have 1 nationally televised game, and that is Thursday night, week 3 against the Jags. That's our only televised game. Now, we have a couple of 3 o'clock games with Denver and LA Chargers, but that's the only time we're on national TV. If we show NBC and the rest of the nation that we are a real deal product, that opens us up to getting more games flexed to Sunday night. Or if CBS is watching, maybe they say, you know what? Instead of the Titans playing at noon, let's put them on our main game at 3:30. Or even Fox, if we're playing an NFC team like Tampa Bay or something like that. They might be like, you know what? Let's make that Tampa Bay game with the Titans our main game at 3:30 if Tampa Bay is any good. So this is a big night as far as that is concerned, because there are some flex-worthy games on our schedule, with Houston, with Indianapolis later this season. Not week 2, but later on in the year in Indianapolis. The Houston games, either week 15 or week 17. The Saints game on week 16. The Kansas City game could be flexed. The Charger game could be flexed. So that is a big opportunity right there for us to possibly get more games flexed to Sunday night. Because I think there are some teams that play on Sunday night, 3-4 times a year? And we don't even get one unless the playoffs are on the line. So this is a big night for that particular reason as well. Show NBC we can play on Sunday night as well and do very well with that. So, and this will definitely get the national media's attention and maybe make them watch Titan football a little bit more, so that when they talk about the Tennessee Titans, they actually know a little bit of what they're talking about instead of just talking out the side of their head, reading other national crap, instead of just at least getting with local media who know what they're talking about when it comes to the Titans. So, Mama's boy said Tajay Sharp still non-existent in game. I agree. I did not see Tajay Sharp at all in this game. And that's why I said that Tajay or Taywan are in danger. You know, Tajay disappeared. I didn't see much from him. I agree. And Clarence Ross said, for those that might not know, you can watch the game through Reddit streams. That's how I watch the majority of the game. Oh, that's a very good point. I mean, I watch mine on TV, but I see what you're talking about there. They might have some streams and stuff like that. Joseph said, not just the nation, but the world is watching. Jags game will be in Jacksonville. This sucks. Agreed. But again, that's why this game with Pittsburgh is ultimately important, because we have some very, very good home games coming this way with, again, New Orleans, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, the Chargers. Those are all big games that could be flexed to Sunday night. So we got to show out in this game and show that we deserve to be on Sunday night. So that's something that we got to make sure we do. So we got to step up. So now, what we're going to do is I want y'all to pick my brain a little bit more, ask me a few more questions and things like that. But while you guys are doing that, now we're going to go into what I'm about to start doing going forward. As we all know, with the season coming up, it is also fantasy football season as well. And with my experiences with fantasy football, I usually use DraftKings. And I just do that every week, every other week or something like that when I think about it. For the first time this year, I think I'm going to get in a fantasy football league, probably through ESPN. I'm going to do a fantasy. I'll get in on the fantasy drafts and stuff like that too. I am not doing a league. Now, that might be something in the future that I might consider, depending on how much I do as far as fantasy, because I'm not really that experienced with fantasy football. So that's why I haven't really played a lot of fantasy. It's really not my forte, so to speak, but I'm willing to give it a try and definitely see if I could be successful with it. So let's take a look at some fantasy football projections and maybe some guys that, if you haven't already had a fantasy league draft already, here are the guys that I would look at drafting for the Titans. Now, the stat projections are according to CBS Sports. And, you have different leagues. You have a standard scoring league, but you also have a PPR league where you get points per reception. So, like, touchdowns are worth points. A certain amount of catches are worth points. Turnovers are worth points. But mainly like touchdowns, turnovers, things like that. I think catches going for first downs or something like that is worth a point or two, something like that. Like I said, I'm not that experienced, but you have your different leagues. So here are 5 Titans that I think are draft worthy. And I'm going to say this right now off the top of the head. Marcus Mariota is not one of the 5. I'm going to say that now. And the reason why is because this is a big year for him. And if he is picked, it's more in the late rounds, like a quarterback 2 or quarterback 3. He's definitely not going to be a quarterback 1. But I just don't see him being consistently a guy that people in fantasy is just going to draft. But here are the 5 Titans I chose as guys that I would draft. First off, you got to go with Delaney Walker. And I would probably pick him maybe somewhere in the second or third round. He could be a tight end number one, definitely a tight end number two. But I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league, without a doubt. He's up there with Travis Kelce as being one of the best tight ends in the league. So I like Delaney Walker a lot. I think he's going to come back with a vengeance. Now they haven't projected, and this is before they had these projections before training camp started. They basically had him at 53 receptions out of 70 targets, 632 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's low for me. I think Delaney Walker, he normally catches close to 70 passes a year, and I think he's going to get there again, without a doubt. He's Marcus Mariota's security blanket. He is Marcus Mariota's go-to guy. When he's in a pinch, he looks for 82, without a doubt. So Delaney Walker, 53 catches, way too low for me, in my honest opinion. I think he's going to get more than that. I think at the earliest he'll get picked in round 2. He could be maybe a round 3 or round 4 pick, but he could be your tight end number 1, without a doubt. The second guy I have, Corey Davis. Now, they have him at 61 catches, 817, 6 touchdowns on 101 targets. First of all, he's going to have more than 101 targets. 2, the guy came close to 1,000 yards last year, and I think he can reach 1,000 yards. He has to. He's a wide receiver number 1. So I think for a fact he's going to get I think he's going to get close to 80. Now, that's going to be difficult because this is a run-first offense, and you got a lot of mouths to feed because you also got A.J. Brown. You got Adam Humphries, Delaney Walker. Definitely. So you got like 3 or 4 other mouths to feed. But if Corey Davis is getting hot in the game, I'm going to keep going to him. I'm going to force feed him the ball without a doubt. So Corey Davis, 61 catches, I think that's low. I think he's going to get close to 75, 80 catches, and I think he's going to have well over 130 targets, in my honest opinion. Let's see. Minnesota Titans says Marcus won't be drafted, but if he goes off early against Cleveland and Indy, he will be the most sought-after guy in the history of the waiver wire. And I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Third guy, Derrick Henry, and this one puzzled me a lot. They said 1,141 yards on 254 carries, 11 TDs with 13 catches, 125 yards. Derrick Henry will do way more than 1,141 yards. He hit 1,059 yards last year. Derrick Henry will not be any lower than 1,200 yards this season. Derrick Henry will reach 1,200 yards, and I think he'll have at least 15 touchdowns. Now, the carries is about right. I would say he should not have no more than about 300 carries. I would say 270 is about a good limit. But I think Derrick Henry will explode. I would get Derrick Henry very early in the draft. I would get him in the second round or third round. And if some of the best players are gone in the first round, if you're drafting late, I might steal Derrick Henry in the first round too, because Derrick Henry is the beast. He is a train that you do not want to be on the tracks when you see it coming through. So I think Derrick Henry can build off of this. It's a contract year. He wants to prove that last year was not a fluke, and that he can make 1,200 yards. So, I think he's going to do some big things. So we're definitely going to find out. And if he goes off early, he might be a guy that I pick in fantasy. Definitely a guy I would pick in fantasy, without a doubt in my mind. Yes, indeed. Fourth guy, Adam Humphries. This is a guy I would pick up late in like the 4th or 5th round. They have him at 43 catches on 61 targets, 456 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, you're putting these numbers out for the guy that was like most catches by a slot receiver that went for first down. He had 76 catches last year. 61 of them went for first downs. And he had to do this with with Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson playing opposite him. And they were in one of the worst offenses in the league, and he still put up nearly 80 catches out of the slot. And if you noticed in the very first game of the year, in the first game of the preseason, who was Marcus going to a whole lot? Adam Humphries. Again, low ball. Adam Humphries is going to at least hit 60. He's going to hit at least 65 catches. He's going to have more than 700-800 yards, and he's going to have way more than just one touchdown. I think he's going to have 5, in my opinion. So, again, these numbers are very, very low. Not impressed with the numbers by CBS Sports, but I did think these are the tops that could be drafted. And last but not least, the Titan defense and special teams. I think the defense mainly, they just got to get more sacks and more turnovers. As far as the defense, they're going to be one of the best defenses in the league. You know, we finished top 10 in total defense. We finished top 10 against, we finished top 10 in most major categories. We were a top 3 scoring defense. We were 8th total defense. And we were one of the top, teams against the run, and we were not too shabby against the pass either. We finished top 10 in pretty much every major category. So defensively, I think we're going to be extremely strong. But Harold Landry and Cameron Wake are going to be major keys in all of this. They got to get sacks. Jarrell Casey's got to get some sacks. Byard, Logan Ryan, Butler, Adoree, they got to get picks. We need some interceptions, and we need some turnovers. That's going to be major points for the defense, but I think the defense is going to be extremely strong, without a shadow of a doubt. I think they'll get picked maybe somewhere in the 3rd or 4th round because they were one of the better defenses in the league. I think they could be picked late as well. So I just like that. Those are my top 5. Delaney, Corey Davis, Derrick Henry, Adam Humphries, Titans defense. Again, Marcus, I didn't put him on there because I'm just not one of my quarterbacks and put him on. So I definitely think Marcus will be very sought after on the waiver wire if he has a hot few first 3 or 4 weeks. A.J. Brown, I'm waiting to see, and he's a rookie. I want to wait and see what he does. Now, I would quickly pick him off the waiver wire, too, if, he has some good games to start the year. I think maybe in the middle of the year, he could be a waiver wire guy that we got to throw him in there. We got to have him on the team, without a doubt. So I think A.J. Brown will come in, maybe have about 50, 60 catches as well in his first year, and I think he goes up from there. I like A.J. Brown a lot. I think A.J. Brown is going to be amazing. Him and Corey Davis, they could become one of the best wide receiver tandems in the league if all goes well, in my honest opinion. Joseph says, I love to thank Justin from Titans 2 for having you on there last season. If he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be talking to you. Love the Star Wars intro at the top of the show. Appreciate that, Joseph. I appreciate that. Lil Wooddale out you. What's up with you? Finally caught you live. I'm glad you're here. Welcome in. But definitely a shout out to Titan to Justin and Caleb. They had me on quite a few times, and definitely had me on with the we talked quite a bit. Had a debacle last year, and that was probably one of the most entertaining moments I've had. So I'm definitely going to be talking to those guys again and bringing them back on for this show. But so that's my fantasy thoughts. We'll be definitely doing some fantasy as far as when the season starts. I'll probably have maybe 2 or 3 guys that you should on the Titans that you should, if you have them on your team, start them. Maybe 2 or 3 guys you should sit. And if you haven't picked them, get them on the waiver wire. That's something that I might start doing as the season goes on. So that's something that I'm definitely going to try to do going forward. But now, to wrap up the show tonight, again, my 400th subscriber. I want y'all to go and subscribe. The person that is the 400th subscriber is going to get a very big gift, a very nice gift from me personally. So I need y'all to go ahead. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, if you're watching this on Facebook, on Instagram, I need y'all to subscribe. So that will be very, very important. So I suggest y'all definitely go ahead and do that. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe because the 400th subscriber is going to get a gift from me. So I'm at 384 subscribers now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know where the heck you've been. I don't know where you've been for the last 100 episodes. You should have been hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And I know a lot of y'all watch YouTube all the time. I know y'all came into it all this time. What's up, C-Dub? I see you coming in here. No, don't worry about it. Just go back and watch the first part of the episode. You can definitely watch, but I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Definitely Lou Wooddale saying Taylor wants big day tomorrow. I agree. That is a big day. So again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, and I got some people on Facebook watching, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. 400 subscriber is going to get a gift from me. And also the 500th subscriber is going to get something from me as well. I'm going to also be working on getting some new shirts made. I'm going to try to get that going. I might enter into a partnership with a guy that maybe makes some shirts, and maybe I have a few of those made with that. So some of y'all can wear some Titans and Truth gear as well. So that's something that I think that we're going to definitely do. So I will be on the lookout for that. 400 subscriber gets a gift from me. 500 subscriber will get a gift from me. So y'all better get to subscribing. Get to it now. Get to it fast. But last but not least, I want to talk to y'all. This is episode 100. This is a big day. Episode 100. I want y'all to go back through and think about some of the past episodes we've had. What were some of your favorite memories of Titans and Truth in these first 100 episodes? And I got a couple of mine. And I see some people on Facebook getting in on me. To hear Rodney, Brother Kenya, how you doing? Liddell, how y'all doing? Spread the word out, y'all. But a couple of my most fond memories, and I have like three. First off, I have to go back to episode number 1. And without a doubt, I have to give a big personal thank you. I have to give a personal thank you to Miss Truth Hurts, Miss Tamika Truth Hurts Wembley. I want to personally say thank you. Thank you for helping me get this started. Because almost 3 years ago, Miss Truth Hurts, we were at a party and we were talking, and she said, was there, I know that you do a lot of things about the Tennessee Titans and stuff like that. Have you thought about doing a podcast? And I said, no, I haven't really thought about that, but I mean, that's something I would like to consider. And so we met up, we talked, put some ideas on the table, and tried to come up with a name and everything of it. And that is how we got Titans and Truth. I was the Titans, she was the Truth. And she helped me with the first 4 episodes of this show. And then, of course, she ended up moving away, and I had to take over from there. But without a doubt, Miss Truth Hurts Wembley is part of the reason this show got started. And So to Miss Truth Hurts Wembley, Miss Tamika, I say thank you. Thank you so much for helping this show, helping TNT get off the ground. That is one of my best moments because we had that show about the Colts. And she had her Mika's moment, which she of course talked about breast cancer because that was a very big deal to her. That was around the time of the breast cancer walk. Um, and that was something very dear to her heart. And I miss Mika's moment. I really do. I think that was something that was always very near and dear to my heart with that. Um, somebody else brought it up. I see C-Dub talked about my draft coverage. That was probably one of my most favorite shows as well, was the draft party from the winery this past year. I had a ball doing that show. That was great. I'm definitely going to do it again next year for next year's draft. I probably won't be at next year's draft. I mean, if I am, of course, I'll do something for it. But I would definitely do something live, maybe from the from the Titans fan club of Memphis, maybe with them if they're watching the draft, or if I'm just watching the draft here. I'll probably definitely do something as far as draft coverage. So trust me, that is not going to stop. That is going to go without a shadow of a doubt. So the draft coverage was fun. A lot of people thought they liked the draft coverage. I think C-Dub said that. Marcus Mariota was saying that. C-Dub said first round. Draft show was great. Leland Hardcastle, what's up with you, man? And C-Dub said, I still remember your expression with the draft when the Jags drafted Allen. Man, I was so hurt from that. I was hurt. What's up, Mitch, on Facebook? Judy, Butchie, Kiana, Denise, Boonop, what's up with you? Alton Hood, I appreciate y'all for letting me use Titan two-step on kicking off the show. I appreciate y'all for that. Yeah, I agree. I was so sad when that happened. I said any other team that's not in the AFC South could have got him, and the Jags had to get him. And I was not happy about that whatsoever. So I agree. You know what? I just thought about something. I might have to do that just kind of in memory because I was getting that off of, I think it was BeatStars. They were letting it use for free, but then after some time they started charging for it, so I couldn't use it much anymore. So I miss that music in my first few episodes. Those were good. I definitely agree with that and everything. So I'm trying to see if I can maybe pull up one of my past episodes just to kind of let me see. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to pull it up, but yeah, that was definitely one when we were all talking about Terry Robisky as Robusky or Robiscuits. Always having him as the dunce of the day. That is something I will always treasure because I think we were all in agreement on that. I mean, Terry Robisky was one of the worst things to happen to the Titans. And Minnesota Titan, here it is. I'm hoping I got this right, y'all. So this is for you. This is from episode 2.
Yeah. Good evening.
Now, that was in memory from the first few episodes. That music was always cool, without a doubt. So Minnesota Titan, that was for you, sir. That was for you on that. Let's see. CW said, I think it will hurt the Jags a lot that they lost Telvin Smith. I agree with that. Jags added Telvin, but lost added Allen, but lost Telvin, who's an All-Pro coverage 4-3 linebacker. They're not going to replace him. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he decided to take a year off. That does hurt the Jags defense a lot, but Josh Allen might be a beast. Now, I haven't heard a lot about him lately, so I don't know how he's doing. I'm going to have to find out about that. But, yeah, Telvin Smith, losing him was a big deal. I definitely like that. Joseph says, I love the dunce of the day and shut your pie hole segments. Yes, and there will be definitely more dunce of the day, star of the week, and shut your pie hole moments to come. And y'all got to remember, we talk about Robuscus, Robusky, and Robiscuits. We had Super Slaw. We also I had my thoughts about Bleeding Ray Wilson. We had Cody Suxaball. I'm thinking of some other names. I said Mike was full of malarkey. So we definitely had some memories with those. And Terry Robisky definitely was always a dunce of the year, dunce of the day candidate. He was always a candidate. I think he was the most nominated dunce of the day candidate in Titans and Truth history, without a shadow of a doubt. So shout out to Robuscits. Him and Malarkey are now in Atlanta together. So that's what I find very interesting as well. Oh, dang. Mike, unable. Come on, Joseph. Come on, Joe. Don't do it. Don't do Vrabel like that. Come on. Now, that might happen if we start to suck. Then we might go with a Mike unable. So I might have to hold on to that one. That's actually pretty creative. Definitely. So definitely the draft coverage was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. When we had Star of the Week, Dunce of the Day, I definitely liked my draft coverage from Philly. I think was definitely pretty good. I'm trying to think of some other one. When I had Austin from A to Z Sports on, I had Teron Davenport on. I appreciate those guys. Jim White's come on a few times. I was definitely thinking about, the playoff edition was really cool. I think the 50th episode was very cool as well. My mock draft episodes, I like that. I definitely enjoyed doing my exclusive when I met with rookies. I thought that was some of my best work as well. So those are just a few memories that I do have of Titans and Truth. If y'all have some other memories, make sure y'all comment in the comments section. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Make sure y'all share it out. Again, the 400 subscriber will get a gift. Also, the 500 subscriber will get a gift as well. Let's see. The crazy thing in 2016 under those two nitwits, Mariota had his best season. CW says, I agree. You actually look at 2016 Rashad, which is probably the most reliable deep threat. Mike unable from last season. Did I do that one? That was actually kind of, I have to remember. I didn't even know if I did that one. That was kind of, I appreciate you bringing that up, Joe. I appreciate that. So, and then, of course, Rashard quitting the team. That was another one because I kind of went off on that. I definitely enjoyed some of my tirades when I went off. And some of y'all know I tried to keep it professional, but there were some times I had some tirades too. There was some times I had to have my temper tantrum. So, but we try to keep it family friendly. I tell you that right now. But everybody, and C-Dub, we're not vrashing Vrabel at all. Not at all. That might happen if we start losing, but I ain't gonna bash Vrabel. Not now. He's done a lot more good than bad, and it seems to continue. So, with 9-7, with everything that happened, and go back to my past episodes, I talked about that. We finished 9-7 with everything that happened. The long game, all the injuries, and everything that went on. We still went 9-7. You know, the Buffalo debacle. If one for those couple of games, Miami and Buffalo were in the playoffs. We're 11-5, plain and simple. So I definitely give love to that. Yeah, Wooddale, I appreciate that. Yeah, interview with TD was awesome. I enjoyed talking to TD. I enjoyed he came on a couple of times. I appreciate Jim Wyatt coming on a couple of times. I wanted to get those guys on tonight, but their schedules were pretty hectic this week with the big dress rehearsal. But fret not, I'm going to be having those guys on again. I'm going to be talking to Austin and Zach as well as Buck Rising. I tried to get him as well. So I'm going to have those guys as well. Rhett Bryan from 104.5 The Zone. I'm going to be talking to him as well. I'm also just got connected with John Glennon. I may even try to see if I can get Mike Keith to come on the show as well, the voice of the Titans. I'm going to definitely try to email with him and give him a call, try to get him on the show too. So some big things are definitely coming for Titans and Truth without a shadow of a doubt. This is episode 100, so happy 100th. We're going to have 100 more episodes coming, and we ain't stopping. This TNT train is going to keep rolling, definitely. So Joe definitely made up the game. So I'll give you credit on that, but that might be what I have to steal from you. So if that comes to that point. So Joe, I give you credit, but I may have to steal it if you don't mind. CW said, I know Chris, any Titan fan as of now that doesn't have confidence in Vrabel does not follow closely enough. And they should. They definitely should. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans of Truth. Thank y'all for tuning in to Titans 100. And definitely cheers to another 100 episodes as we get ready to get up out of here.
Good evening, Titan.
And, you know, I thank y'all definitely from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all, Marcus Mariota and everybody. I thank y'all for tuning in. And I will see y'all next week when we talk about roster projections and who could get cut. Thank y'all for tuning in. Tighten up. We stay tight and tough. We don't lighten up. Thank y'all and have a good night. Tighten up.